So today we're going to be installing these master locks on this door, the handicap door, and the back door. Hopefully they will fit on them. So it's got a heavy duty lock. These are like real heavy duty grade commercial locks, and then they got two pads. The only place I can find that's going to fit is like right here on the base of on the bottom of the door. So that's what I think we're going to go for, is something like that. And I think I'm going to have to remove some of this weather seal in order to get that on there. But that's what we're going to go ahead and do. Inside here, yes. That's about what height it's got to be. Just right to that. So I think the first thing we're going to do, draw some marks on here where to remove the weather seal. All right.
And I called it. I called them for the I can't do it. Somehow move this up just a hair, but in order to do that we're gonna have to like cut some of the bottom of that off too, the window seal. Just like maybe half of it. Hopefully that doesn't make it leak really bad. I guess we can always use some silicone or something if it does leak. You know? Okay, let's see, is that on the thing or not? Hang how it goes.
We ended up getting 3-inch bolts because we didn't know how thick it was gonna have to be. So we're gonna end up having to cut these off. And then we got little caps to put on them so that they're not sharp on the edges. I'm going to bolt 2 of these on there to hold it in place while I drill the other holes. That way the holes line up for sure. Because I'm afraid that if I just try to do it off marker drawings, that they'll wiggle out of place and it won't line up just right. So that's how it's going to be. Let's see if it works. Not really. Bend those prongs together a little. So that's going to be our door lock there. Looks like maybe we can bend this one in a touch too. Let's see what happens once we drill those other 2 holes. They're right on weld, so it's kind of hard to drill them. Hopefully the window glass doesn't come down that far or something weird. Lock that in place. Kinda sorta worked. Check it out, I guess. Unlock it, open it up, and check it out and see what we're dealing with. Let's do this one too. What was that?
truck.
Oh. Okay. Let's see what that looks like on the inside. Well, we kind of got on the plate. See this, get a zoom up of this. This is what I was worried about, is that this plate, this little metal bracket's not even barely wide enough to grab these bolts. This one here, if you want to get a zoom up of it, it cut the bottom in half. But all in all, like here, get a zoom up underneath, it cut the bottom of the bracket in half, so the washer won't even get all the way on there, but should be good. Loosen these up and try and get the square part of the carriage bolt through the bracket on the front of the log, because if that doesn't suck into place like it's supposed to, it's not gonna look very good on the outside. So I'm hoping this is the hardest door, because all the glass in it gives you very limited space to work with. I'm really hoping that the back two doors are a lot more simpler and easier. We'll find out though. So it looks like the carriage bolt, the square from the carriage bolt went in on this side pretty smoothly. So that's good. The weld that it's sitting on kind of makes it pop out a bit, which I think is why it makes the lock so hard to get on there. But as long as it works. Now I got the square part of the carriage bolt sucked into the front of the lock face, so their bolt heads aren't sticking out. Now, how long are these little guys? We'll put those on and draw a little mark on the bolt. And then, so we need about that far. So they go on about 1/2 of an inch. We'll put those on with Loctite because we don't want any of this stuff coming off. We'll measure about about 1/2 an inch. We'll do about 3/8 of an inch. want these snug down as much as possible. And then we'll cut off the end. And then we'll put some of these guys on there. 2, 4, 6 of those. Okay. Just use an angle grinder with a metal cutoff wheel, and hopefully those cut pretty easily. What are you pointing at?
There's a guy in like a big pink wet dress on a little scooter crossing the road really slowly.
Oh, weird. Okay. Only in a lip here, right? You don't want to wear safety glasses when you use one of these things, because these things the cutoff wheels can break apart and fly off. Really dangerous tools. Couple other tricks to when you use one of these things. You want to make sure, because it spins that way, so you don't want to do it on the side that like that way, because then it'll kick it back to you. You want to do it on this side to where if it catches, it pulls it out, because you have more strength to pull than you do to push. It's easier to keep it lined up. And you don't want to put very much pressure. If you put too much pressure, then that's what will cause this to rip apart, or it'll overheat or it'll snag. So you just want to very lightly let the tool cut through it. Don't try and press it through. Got through it. So now we put a little thread locker on there. Well, we might need to clean up some of these edges to get these bolts to thread on, but we'll see how it goes. Little red thread locker. Side. And this red thread locker's permanent. They make another one that's blue that's not permanent, so if you want to be able to take them off easily, you'll want to use the blue thread locker.
And that is the finished product. So nice and secure, door doesn't open, tough lock to tamper with. So that's why we bought these. They're a little bit more expensive than just padlocks and latches, but this is the commercial lock sets. You get a close up of the finished bolts on the inside. And then from the inside of the bus, show how they clear the bottom step. So they just barely clear. So perfect. All right, that's one lock. We'll show you the next two as we get going on them. Over and get this. A little debris behind here I gotta get. There's a little debris on the edge here. I gotta knock that off of there from when I drilled the hole, because it doesn't want to tighten down properly. The other thing is it wants to crimp the door. When I tighten it, it wants to put a kink in the door. So I'm not sure if maybe I should have got bigger washers or a metal plate on this side or something. I don't know. But that's what I'm dealing with. Just a little bit of footage on these ones is fine, because we got the whole thing on the other one.
Hug footage.
And then once I close it and lock it, get a little more footage of that.
Yeah. Hey, baby.
All right, so we got the bus locks installed. This is the one on the back door. And this is the one on the side handicap door. And this is the finished product, the one on the driver's door. And we're pretty happy with how they came out. So anyway, that's what the locks look like that we got on there. The other thing I did is this compartment here didn't have a lock, so I put one of these kind of turn lock things, and the battery box didn't have a lock, so I put one on there too. The other ones had lock and key latches. So anyways, that's the lock securing the bus. See ya.